But Jesus did not come to tie you up, to chain you down, to lock you in. He came to set you free. And so my brothers and sisters, you need to know this. You are called to be free. If you ever wonder what God's calling on your life is, here it is. Be free. He goes on to say, do not use your freedom to indulge the flesh. Right after he tells us we're called to be free, he moves right to a do not. And human nature is this. If you read this passage, you don't even focus on the freedom. You focus on do not. Because it's easier to focus on do not. Do not indulge or use your freedom to indulge the flesh. But before we even touch on that, I want you to realize that so much of the focus of the conversations about our faith and what it means to walk in this relationship with Jesus is focused on the do not and not on the do. You know why? Because it's easier to identify the do nots. It's easier to see the do nots. You shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't be that way. You shouldn't do that. What were you thinking? It's much easier to see the do nots because the do's haven't happened yet. But I want you to realize that if you spend your life focusing on the do nots, you've wasted your life because you didn't do the do's. But if you spent your life focused on the do's, you'll run out of time for the do nots. So I don't want to talk to you about the do nots. I want to talk to you about the do's. You are free. You've been called to be free. This is why you were created. This is why God stepped into human history. This is why Jesus came. This is why God took on flesh and blood. This is why he walked among us. This is why Jesus allowed himself to be crucified on our behalf. This is why he gave his life as a sacrifice so that you could be free. So that you could actually live in the do's and not focus on the do nots.